Dr. Donna Salvaggio, Director of Library Services, and Captain Sean Totora, President of the Faculty Forum. And already joining us on stage, Miss Lisa Jerry, Registrar of the Academy. Next to enter the field is Captain Mike Stroud, United States Maritime Service, Commandant of Midshipmen, along with his staff. Accompanying Captain Stroud is the Captain of the Port of New York and Commander of Coast Guard Sector New York, Captain John Anderchuk, United States Coast Guard, as well as Commander Mike Bedrick, the Academy's Director of Admissions. Now entering the field is the 50-year legacy class of 1975. The legacy class annually has the honor of leading our first-class midshipmen, the ones we are all here today to celebrate, into the stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a warm Kings Point commencement welcome for the United States Merchant Marine Academy graduating class of 2025. Rounding out the official party today is our faculty contingent. In a gesture of respect, the class of 2025 will face inward to recognize the faculty and acknowledge their mentorship over the past 4 years. Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join us as we render honors to the 20th Secretary of Transportation, the Honorable Sean P. Duffy, and for the playing of our national anthem by the United States Merchant Marine Academy's Regimental Band, George M. Cohan's Own, followed by the invocation from the Academy's Command Chaplain, Lieutenant Commander Jonathan Jones, United States Navy Chaplain Corps. Uniformed members, present arms.
Let us pray.
Order arms.
Almighty God, we gather today, and we thank you for the blessing of education. We thank you for the opportunity and the privilege to study in our chosen areas, to gain new skills and knowledge. May each graduate drink in the joy that comes from a job well done. Their success required sacrifice, discipline, and a lot of hard work. And through the challenge, you have molded and shaped the character of each one here. The class of 2025 is unique in their own right, and our hearts teem with excitement for them. Holy God, we thank you for the family, friends, alumni, for the faculty and staff who all, in their own time and measure, helped our graduates push themselves beyond what they thought possible. Because of the support sustained these last 4 years, we honor and celebrate our graduates as they become Merchant Marines, as well as active and reserve component commissioned officers in all branches of military service. Bless us all now as we honor them. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Dais members, uncover. Very close. All right. Almost. Get there next year. Ladies and gentlemen, I am now pleased to introduce someone I am very privileged to work for and partner with each and every day. She is someone who epitomizes the words all in, a person who is there in every conceivable way for our midshipmen, from turbocharging their careers by connecting them with key leaders from across the maritime industry and the armed services, to cheering on our athletic teams at pretty much every one, literally every one, of our sporting events, from conference championships and the Secretary's Cup to preseason baseball and lacrosse scrimmages in the biting cold and wind. Since arriving at Kings Point in 2022, she has been laser focused on ensuring that our academy gets the attention, the resources, the levels of autonomy and empowerment, and the modern facilities that our national security mission demands. She has raised our profile, she has built strategic partnerships, and she recently inked a truly game-changing long-term interagency agreement with our great partners and friends at the United States Army Corps of Engineers. Along with the facilities master plan we just completed and leveraging the unprecedented levels of support we are seeing from Secretary Duffy and from the White House, her work has positioned the Academy to build the modern facilities that our midshipmen deserve, and it has positioned Kings Point to thrive well into the future. She is visionary, she is transformative, she has made a huge and positive difference here at Kings Point, and I could not be more proud to be her sea partner. So without further delay, it is my very great privilege to introduce the 14th Superintendent of the United States Merchant Marine Academy, Vice Admiral Joanna Noonan.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Kings Point campus. Good morning to everyone in the Kings Point community, underclassmen, friends, alumni, faculty, and staff, and especially to the parents and families of the class of 2025. On that note, how about that class of 2025? This is a bittersweet moment for me to see you heading up the regiment in one final formation. We are excited for you, Proud to showcase you to the entire world, but sad to see you go. Today we're honored by the presence of two special guests. The Director of the U.S. Navy Strategic Systems Programs, Vice Admiral Johnny Wolf, a 1988 graduate of the United States Merchant Marine Academy. Vice Admiral Wolf is responsible for the Navy's nuclear weapons, be they submarine-launched ballistic missiles or sea-launched cruise missiles. He is also overseeing the development of the Navy's hypersonic strike capability. Vice Admiral Wolf is a very dangerous man because he was a Kings Point systems engineering major. And the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy. A former congressman, district attorney, and television host, Secretary Duffy has led efforts to modernize America's air traffic control system, enhance highway safety, and invest in transit systems and transportation infrastructure. Of course, we are most excited by the prominent role he sees Kings Point playing in the revitalization of America's shipping and shipbuilding enterprise. The future holds great promise, but it will require heroic levels of leadership, qualities that Secretary Duffy finds in abundance on our campus. Class of 2025, you are heroes and leaders for a few hours more. This places you in rare company, especially among people your age. In fact, I don't think America embraces the classic image of a hero and leader much anymore. In popular culture, we see Marvel or Star Wars characters who can instantly fly, fight, or make things explode. But their stories do not resonate. They are not characters who inspire. American culture needs heroes and leaders hardened by honest experience who draw upon their abilities to face tests of courage, honor, and intelligence. These stories are the greatest classics, as are the ones where we see how those destined for greatness first gain the experiences that will serve them well in a lifetime of challenges. That has been the essence of your 4 years at the United States Merchant Marine Academy. From day zero at INDOC to the Coast Guard licensing exams, a series of experiences has forged your character. Heroes are known for their epic deeds, challenges met that ordinary people cannot or will not attempt. You have completed the studies at the most academically demanding of all the federal service academies. You have fulfilled your potential on the playing fields, the courts, the mats, in the pool, or at the waterfront. You have spent a year's apprenticeship at sea, becoming the best young mariners on earth. You are heroes, having pushed your personal horizons further and chalked up more port calls around the world than any other students anywhere. You are leaders, having made the sobering discovery that leadership is not so easy in a world full of people who see things differently. On your teams, in your classes or the regiment or at sea, you have had to rally some very unlikely alliances toward common causes. Your greatest successes have come only after relationships have been created. Hold that thought. Now the time has come to leave Fulton Gibbs, Bowditch, Delano, and O'Hara Halls and Barney Square behind. Outside these gates, you will be third mates, third assistant engineers, and ensigns and second lieutenants, merely fresh faces in industry and the military. You have rung the bell. You have jumped into the pool and for 2+ weeks celebrated all that you have accomplished over the past 4 years. The United States, however, has no such luxury. In fact, we are victims of our own success. The very world order that we established has allowed us to grow careless with our strategic and economic obligations and allowed a rival power to threaten our security. The experts have responded. We see in the Ships for America Act and the Restoring Maritime Dominance Executive Order ambitious plans for new shipyards that will need new workforces, a new fleet of American commercial ships, which means new responsibilities and new opportunities. New questions will arise about prioritizing commercial and versus military vessels. Financially, the experts describe trust funds and public and private investments in technology and manufacturing to make it all possible. But how are we going to figure it all out? We don't know exactly. America is going to need heroes hardened by experience, who have performed deeds that few others would ever attempt. We need mariners who have sailed to the furthest corners of the globe, who on the bridge have plotted courses through blinding storms, or in the engine room have turned heat, noise, and power into relentless forward motion. These are the top prospects for graduate school, the ones who become scientists and ship designers. These are the steady hands who will move on to steer the shipping companies and shipyards that will build our future. America needs young military officers who understand the role of logistics in the larger strategic picture and who know that America cannot just be ready for battle, but ready for war. America needs leaders who can turn ideas into reality. They will face a sprawling maritime enterprise with political, economic, and cultural goals that will be many and varied. These leaders will remember from Kings Point that values drive policy. Let's agree on our values, you will say. Let's establish our priorities, and then we can hammer out the details. Before any shipyards open or any steel is cut, the relationships you form across the public and private sectors and through the military are the true infrastructure of sea power. Class of 2025, as you leave us today as some of America's greatest success stories, you are America's greatest hopes, and you must become heroes and leaders once again. We know how this story ends. America's national security will bear the stamp acta non verba. I am pleased now to introduce Dr. Ann Bird, the Assistant Secretary of Transportation for Administration. She has served as my direct supervisor in this administration. Dr. Bird is an expert in organizational transformation and performance improvement. She is a university professor and a consultant to private corporations and government agencies, including the Marine Corps and Federal Bureau of Investigation. Now, at the Department of Transportation, her leadership encompasses policy, operations, and financial responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ann Bird.
Y'all, is it just me or is it hot? I've got a job to do here, but before I do that, I want to do what is probably somebody else's job. If you are a parent of someone graduating today, would you please stand? If you are a grandparent, a step-parent, a sibling, an aunt, an uncle, a chosen member of their family, would you please stand? I have two things to say to you. First, thank you for entrusting your most prized possession, I use that word literally, to the U.S. government. And second, I want to just tell you how honored we are to get to work with them every day. To the graduating class of 2025, let me just ask one thing of you. Phone home. Phone home often, more than you think you should. Tell us you're safe. Tell us you love us. tell us you remember we're here. My job here today is to introduce my boss. He is the 21st Secretary for the Department of Transportation. He is the reason I serve. He is hardened by experience in his service. And a lot of people have already said a lot of nice things about him, and there are more nice things to come. Many of you know him and will know him better after today. But if you will, please join me in celebrating the U.S. Department of Transportation Secretary, the Honorable Sean P. Duffy.
I'm going to second what Ann said. It is hot out here, and you guys stay so cool under that hot pressure. Not even sweating, not drinking water. Very, very impressive. But it is good to be with you, and congratulations to the class of 2025. Dr. Ann Bird, thank you for that very kind introduction. And to Vice Admiral Joanne Noonan, the leadership team, and all of this fantastic faculty, thank you. A job well done. So it is truly an honor to be here today to celebrate some of America's finest, strongest, and best looking graduates that this country has to offer, for sure. And I want to acknowledge the strength and commitment you all have displayed to get to this moment. Over the past 4 years, you've had some challenges. That might be a little bit polite, so let me be a little more blunt. For years, this institution has been neglected by Congress. It's been mismanaged. The campus has been allowed to fall into disrepair. It's unbecoming of a National Service Academy. It's unfair given the depth of sacrifice you all have made, and it's unworthy of the greatest country on the face of the earth, the greatest country that has ever existed in the history of mankind. Later, I'm going to share a few of my life lessons that I've learned over the course of 53 years, but there's a lot of lessons you all have learned over the last 4 years. One of them, probably the most important, is perseverance. You're the class of COVID shutdowns of sea year. You're the class of no hot water for months. You're the class of not enough food. You're the class of paper plates and plastic forks. You are the class of dorms with mold and a dilapidated, falling apart library. Congratulations. You have perseverance. Now, several months ago, I was able to see for myself old tar dripping from the ceilings. I saw dorms rotting with mold. I saw rusty showers with no hot water. And worst of all, I saw Jesus stuffed in the basement. With all those issues, a lot of people, they may just give up. With so many challenges, you'd expect a dampened spirit. But what I saw when I first came here to the Academy in April for the Battle Standard Dinner actually shocked me. Instead, I found before me the most remarkable group of men and women whose spirits could not be broken. I saw a group that, despite being disrespected and uncared for, was more passionate than ever about serving their country. I couldn't be prouder of each and every one of you for your sacrifice that has brought you to this point. Thank you. But more than that, your commitment to service, despite hardship, has inspired everyone at the Department of Transportation to work harder to fix this place, to make sure no one else has to go through what you all went through for the last 4 years. Now, your perseverance is why the Air Force schools prefer pilots from this academy as opposed to the Navy. That's good. Congratulations on that one. You've put up with more than they have. You've done more with less than they have. You've done the dirty jobs that they haven't. And you've done you've demonstrated the discipline to do things that you don't want to do when you don't want to do them. That is what makes you all the finest graduates of all of our nation's academies. I want you to know that your frustrations, your sacrifices, and your call for change, they've been heard loud and clear. Not just by me, but by the President of the United States, President Donald Trump. This administration, yes, this administration understands that restoring maritime dominance is critical to America's national security. And to do that, our nation needs more brave men and women to sail the ships we have now, but the great ships we're going to build in the future. This mission you're all about to embark on could not be more important at this very moment when our nation stands on the precipice of potential conflict in the Middle East. Whether it's the Suez Canal or the South China Sea, there are rough waters ahead. You may find yourself in harm's way, and you do it for your country. Thank you. Maybe that's what you're all thinking about right now, or maybe you're all thinking, wow, it's really hot, or maybe you're thinking, when is he going to end, or maybe you're thinking, I have a great graduation party to go to. But hold on, give me a second, because I too want to take a moment and speak to the parents. Moms and dads, I've met your kids. You've done well. You've instilled in your kids with something that's sorely and sadly missing from young people in today's culture, in today's society. Your children are moral, faith-filled, incredibly intelligent, and they're resourceful. They have grit, and they're patriots. In creating and raising these fine young men and women who now go out to serve our great country, in which they are going to serve in an incredibly important capacity, all of you parents, you too are patriots. Thank you for raising such fine young men and women. And on behalf of President Donald Trump and me, your Secretary of Transportation, we do thank you deeply for all the work and sacrifice it took to mold these fine young men and women into merchant marines. So, if you don't mind, can I just offer you a few life lessons that I picked up over 53 years from MTV to DOT? That rhymes nicely, doesn't it? MTV to DOT. All right, number one, say yes to adventure, big and small. So when I was your age, I said yes to a reality TV show. And, you know, there are some downsides to reality TV. It's like, you know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Not so true with reality TV. It lives on forever in perpetuity, and so what you do in your 20s, your employers and your kids will see, kind of like what you all post on social media. Be careful what you put out there. But for me, I met my wife on reality TV, and I have zero regrets because she has been the joy and light of my life. So zero regrets, take adventure. And by the way, you all are about to say yes to an unknown adventure, albeit far more consequential than reality TV. I'm certain good things await for all of you. Number two, stop scrolling and start living. Ask that girl on a date, a real date. Maybe take her to the movies, go to dinner, open the car door for her. And ladies, give the guy a chance. Just say yes, right? Endlessly scrolling never made anybody happy. Netflix and DoorDash on a Friday night, not so much fun. Go with your friends and that girl you had the courage to ask out. You're going to enjoy your life so much more. Stop living virtually, start living authentically. Without exception, number three, the most important decision any of you will make in your lives is the person you decide to marry. If you find a good, kind, wonderful man or woman who you're attracted to, don't let that person slip away. Dare to be countercultural. Get married. Start a family. So to all you men out there, fun fact, married men are wealthier, healthier, and they live longer. I've been married 26 years, 9 kids, And again, my wife, the love of my life. And by the way, you start a family, no greater joy. Anything you do, your family will be the greatest joy that you have in your life. So start early, get married, have kids. Number four, you may not understand this advice right now because you're also young and fit, but work out. Always work out. I competed in lumberjack sports back in the day, ESPN 6, 4 o'clock in the morning. You might have seen it. It's great. I went to Congress. I didn't work out. I got fat, soft, pudgy, if you will. I lost 10 years. So you always won't look as great as you do today. Always work out for the rest of your life. Stay fit and stay healthy. Number 5, maintain high standards for yourself, higher standards than anybody can ever have set for you. When you raise the bar for yourself, something remarkable happens. You raise the bar for everyone around you. That's what it means to be a true leader. Number 6, if your dreams don't scare you, they are not big enough. The fear of failure can be paralyzing. It's kind of a human trait. We get paralyzed by fear. Don't be afraid. Don't let it stop you from taking risks. Number 7, never forget where you came from. Your parents, your friends, your hometown, Kings Point. That is what has molded you into the young men and women that you are today. Number 8, be kind. It's just not good professional advice. It's good life advice. It's good parenting advice, and I can promise you it is the greatest marriage advice that you will ever get from anybody. Be kind. Be kind to your colleagues, your neighbors, your fellow midshipmen. And just a side note, mean people suck, so be nice. And number 9, there are 2 kinds of people: those who believe in God and those who think they're God. There's something beautiful, humbling, and properly ordered about a man and woman who understand that there is power greater than themselves, that everything is not in their control, and that they are the beloved child of a merciful God who hears their prayers. And I had 10, but it's too hot, so I'm just going to do 9 for you, okay? Now, before there was GPS technology, sailors solely relied on key stars to keep them, to help them navigate where they were going. Sailors rely on the North Star to lead them, because the North Star remains fixed in the same location throughout the night. In the Middle Ages, men of the sea prayed to the Virgin Mary, who they called Stella Maris, because she was their North Star that pointed them toward God the Father, their protector and spiritual destination. No one knows the unpredictability and storms of nature and life like a sailor. A good sailor knows that in the end, only God can calm the seas and bring them to safety. So stay faithful and never underestimate the power of prayer. So now, go out, work hard, meet the love of your life, and always keep the Merchant Marine Academy motto in your hearts forever. Deeds, not words. And by the way, I'm looking forward to going to the Secretary's Cup. Well, did we lose last year? Exactly. We're taking the cup back at Fenway this year. I look forward to joining you all. So I want you to all go out there and crush it, to kick ass. Congratulations and thank you for the service that you're going to provide your country. God bless.
Midshipman Liam Prigmore, class of 2025. Class of 2025 president, I apologize. President Prigmore. Midshipman Jeffrey Gumport, first rotation regimental commander. And Midshipman Cameron Taylor, second rotation regimental commander, will now present Secretary Duffy with a memento from the class.
Secretary Duffy, as a token of our appreciation, please accept this memento of your time spent here today on behalf of the class of 2025.
Thank you, Midshipman Prigmore, Midshipman Gumport, Midshipman Taylor. Good job, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my great privilege to introduce the president of the Kings Point class of 2025, Midshipman Liam Prigmore. Midshipman Prigmore, the podium is yours.
Thank you, sir. Secretary Duffy, Admiral Wolf, Dr. Bird, Admiral Noonan, Mr. Dowling, distinguished guests, family and friends, mom and dad, and most importantly, that great class of 2025. I'm honored to be here today celebrating our collective achievements. There's a few people I'd like to recognize who work hard to make Kings Point a better place each and every day. First of all, shout out to Lisa Donitz and the Alumni Association. Thank you to Ms. Gina Dreyer and everything that you do to help us plan our class events. And thank you to Mr. Tom O'Boyle. I also want to recognize a very special member of the class of 2025, the most efficient member of our class, actually. Graduating Kings Point is a strong achievement in and of itself, and only one person each year has the distinction of being known as the class anchor. This year, that is Mark Summer, so congratulations, Mark. And in keeping with tradition, Mark will be getting a nice payday from the rest of his classmates, so well played. 4 short years ago, the class of 2025 arrived at Kings Point in the middle of what seemed like a Category 5 hurricane. We arrived with fresh resolve, ready to serve, eager to be tested. I remember being so excited to come to Kings Point, but there are some things you can't really prepare for. You just have to experience them. I remember day 0, being drenched in rain, confused, alone, tired, and I thought to myself, I'm not sure if I can do this. The cadre gave us a moment to gather our composure, and I looked at my classmates, my fellow candidates, people I didn't know yet because we weren't allowed to speak to each other. I looked at them for inspiration, and somebody said, I don't know if I can do this. And then somebody said, this is going to end. We will get through this, and it'll be easier if we work together. I knew then that I was at the right place with the right people. People ask, why would you want to go to a school like that? The answer has never changed. Some people go their whole lives without knowing their limits. We don't have that problem. Some people wonder if they made a difference in the world. We don't have that problem. The class sitting before me has been tested at watch stations and at muster stations, abroad in a pandemic, and against missiles fired at their unarmed commercial ships, and we're still here. I've lost count of how many times over the last 4 years I've said, that was the hardest thing I've done. It's true that Kings Pointers may have a reputation of complaining about these challenges, but this is the path that we chose for ourselves. Being here means that we get results no matter what, and for the graduating class of 2025, that your country can trust you to see things through to the end. This is hard, and it's not for everyone. 3 of my 4 plebe year roommates are not here today. I did my best to get rid of the 4th one, but good job, Will. We made it. History tells us that Kings Pointers go on to do great things. The people sitting next to you, classmates, teammates, roommates, gym partners, study partners, sea partners, will go on to be captains, chief engineers, harbor pilots, leaders and pioneers of the maritime industry and the armed services. Those are only a few of the many titles that Kings Pointers have held. In 2025, that is now our legacy. Walking across this stage is a promise to ourselves, to each other, and to our country that we will be the best we can be. Through it all, I want you to know that the most important title that I will ever hold is that I was your shipmate, I was your friend, and that we threw the best parties. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am now pleased to introduce our acting provost, Captain James J.Z. Zatwernicki, United States Maritime Service. Captain Zatwernicki, over to you.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, It is indeed a great pleasure for me to introduce a truly exceptional member of the class of 2025, this year's valedictorian, Midshipman First Class, Trevor Quigley.
Good morning, Secretary Duffy, Dr. Bird, Admiral Wolf, Admiral Noonan, distinguished guests, faculty and staff, family and friends, and my fellow shipmates in the class of 2025. Yeah. Most valedictorians might see it coming. They know from the start that they're in the running. That wasn't the case for me. I remember standing at Vickery Gate for the first time, wondering if I even belonged here. I had no idea what was ahead, but even less idea of how much it would change me. If it hadn't been for Rick Dominique's recruiting magic, I'm not sure I would have made it through Vickery Gate at all. And if it weren't for the constant fear of failing out, I'm not sure I would have made it through the academic curriculum. But here I am, and here we are, standing together, about to walk through that gate one final time. But being valedictorian doesn't make me any more accomplished than the shipmates beside me. The real accomplishment lies in ringing the bell, taking the oath, and stepping across this very stage. Kings Point is often referred to as the hardest of the service academies to graduate from. Not always a great place to be at, but without a doubt, a great one to be from. What makes Kings Point so difficult is something few outside our world can fully grasp. But that's exactly what makes graduating all the more meaningful. For those unfamiliar, perhaps some of the difficulties belong to the near master's level credit load crammed into 3 years. Or maybe it's trying to balance sports, academics, and regimental duties, all while chasing some semblance of a social life. Or maybe it's the entire year spent at sea, where 12-hour workdays and stacks of sea projects are matched only by the weight of being away from home for months on end. From the bridges of 1,000-foot cargo ships to the cockpits of F-18s, the conning towers of nuclear submarines, and the decks of Navy destroyers, Kings Pointers have seen the far corners of the world and faced real-world challenges head-on. Many midshipmen have missed weddings and funerals, faced life-threatening situations, and even endured missile attacks just to fulfill their academic responsibilities and be seated where they are today. So yes, Kings Point is incredibly hard on many fronts, but would any midshipman wish it were easier? Absolutely not. A graduate from Kings Point is unlike any other in the world. The cultural competence, real-world experience, discipline, and appreciation of minutia is unprecedented. We learn to lead through fatigue, to think clearly in chaos, and to rely on one another when everything else seemingly falls apart. But most importantly, a Kings Pointer understands the true value of a relationship. The surplus of stress and pressure forges bonds that simply aren't possible in any other environment. This is a class and regiment of brothers and sisters who motivate each other, hold each other accountable, and always have each other's backs. No one makes it through Kings Point alone. Every step of the way is a team effort. As we now ship out across the globe, I'm excited to see how our class will impact the world through supporting the nation's economy and national security. And with the immense support that Secretary Duffy has promised, I'm equally as excited for the future of Kings Point. I want to thank the faculty and staff, especially Captain Tish, for their dedication and guidance, and the parents who bore the brunt of every late-night complaint and homesick phone call. Your support made this possible. To my fellow graduates, I wish you fair winds, following seas, and the best of luck. May our courses cross again out in the fleet. Acta non verba. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Midshipman Quigley. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce this year's distinguished alumnus speaker, Mr. Shane Dowling, Kings Point, class of 1989. Mr. Dowling is the President and Chief Executive Officer of TMMG. He has a distinguished career as an engineer and a businessman, having professionally worked for the past 30 years in both the maritime industry and the government sector. He has sailed internationally on merchant vessels as a licensed operating engineer. He's worked in the U.S. Navy Port Engineer Program in Norfolk, Virginia, and in the Middle East. His waterfront experiences led him to managing the Navy's contracted port engineers for Surface Forces Atlantic and modernizing maintenance and operations for Amtrak. Without further delay, please join me in welcoming Mr. Shane Dowling, class of 1989, back home to Kings Point to address the class of 2025. Sir.
Thank you, Admiral. Secretary Duffy, Admiral Noonan, honored guests, parents, family, friends, midshipmen, class of 2025, good morning. I am here today because I have extremely high expectations of you. Expectations I am confident you will meet and exceed. As I'm sure you remember from your plebe knowledge tests, President Roosevelt dedicated the Kings Point campus where we stand today in 1943. He also coined one of my favorite phrases, which will guide my comments to you on this warm morning. That is, be sincere, be brief, and be seated. I've been fortunate enough to have viewed this time-honored ceremony from all three vantage points. From the grandstands with my family, as my oldest brother graduated. He loved Kings Point so much he stayed an extra year. I'm sure some of you can relate. Relief was the main emotion for my parents that day. In 1989, I sat on Tomb Field with my classmates where you sit today as graduating midshipmen, where excitement and anticipation ruled the day. And today, from this podium, where all I feel is honored to be in our fraternity. As in life, it's all about vantage points, and by changing your view, you will change your perspective. I have two brief but essential points to offer you all today. Number one, all things in moderation. Be passionate in life to whatever energizes you. Work hard, play hard, laugh a lot, be of service. Heck, love the New York Yankees with full-throated enthusiasm if that's your thing. Maybe just don't put pinstripes on your house. Number two, do those things that most others are not willing to do. By walking up that first gangway, you are already on this path, whether you realize it or not. Graduating Kings Point paves the way for a successful life. Not a successful career or a successful project, a successful life. Do not measure your success in dollars. They are simply a byproduct of your hard work. As an old pump-kicking oil tanker guy, you can trust me on that. You want to be rich? Great. Be rich in family, rich in community, rich in character, fraternity. Do that, and I assure you all, the rest will take care of itself. I've been around a while. I have been around a while. I have a lot of rings on my tree, which is, I suppose, where the distinguished alum part comes from. It's thinly veiled code from old. I know this to be true because I have Kings Pointers that work for me that are the children of my classmates. Yeah. So you can take stock when I say you are about to join the strongest, most effective alumni organization in the world. We are the us in USMMA, and we are everywhere. Take advantage of this. If you don't know where to start, you can start with me. We are a collective group who have been where you are going, with hands out offering encouragement, guidance, and support. I can honestly say I have not navigated a single major milestone in my career in life, good and bad, that didn't involve a fellow Kings Pointer standing next to me, on the phone, or in my ear, counseling me, let's go, or hell no. Kings Point changed the trajectory of my life and has allowed me to accomplish goals and to serve in ways beyond my greatest expectation. The same holds true for each of you. I do not need to tell you that things are dynamic in today's world. You are our country's leaders, a responsibility you must not carry lightly nor without compassion, for leadership without compassion is not leadership. Be proud of what you have done to get here today. Be proud of what you were doing each day moving forward, and be proud of what you strive to do in the future. Go to sea, learn your trade, perfect your craft. The perspective gained from seagoing experiences is rare and will prove priceless to you later in life. Don't miss your chance. After navigating a storm in the Bering Sea or keeping the lights on while steaming down the Mississippi with a tank full of bad fuel, a project deadline or presentation to some future boss will not faze you in the least. As I stand here today, I must admit I'm jealous of you all at the start of your great adventure. While each of your journeys will be unique, there is a common thread that runs through all of them and back to this special place. To plot a course, every journey needs a point of origin. Kings Point is ours. Remember that as you strike out on your own, and may your path be full of challenge and fulfillment. Finally, I offer to each of you my heartfelt admiration and respect. You made it. Welcome to the other side, shipmates. We're glad you're here. Fair winds and following seas, class of 2025.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Shane Dowling, class of '89. We will now present the service medley. For those currently serving on active duty or in the reserves, as well as all those who have worn the cloth of our nation in the military or the merchant marine, we invite you to rise when your service song is played. Viewers at home, we invite you to join us in standing for your service anthem as well. The United States Army. United States Marine Corps. The United States Navy. United States Air Force. the United States Coast Guard, the United States Space Force, the United States Merchant Marine, Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the podium the Academy's acting provost, Captain James Zatwernicki.
Okay. Will all Marine transportation majors please rise? Will all maritime logistics and securities majors please rise? Will all marine engineering majors please rise? Will all marine engineering and shipyard management majors please rise? And will all marine engineering systems majors please rise? Vice Admiral Noonan. On behalf of the faculty, I hereby certify that the members of the class of 2025 have completed the prescribed curriculum after being thoroughly examined and are therefore qualified to be awarded the degree of Bachelor of Science.
As Superintendent of the United States Merchant Marine Academy, and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Congress of the United States, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Science with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining.
Class of 2025, please remain standing.
Okay, class of 2025, here we go. Will those, you may have your seats. Now, will those graduating summa cum laude, and cum laude please rise?
Oh, sorry.
Oh. Sorry, take your seats. Good. Yeah, they go for the commission first. Admiral Platt.
Admiral Platt,
Yeah.
will you please do your thing?
Rear Admiral Michael Platt, United States Coast Guard, Commander 1st Coast Guard District, will now administer the United States Coast Guard Merchant Mariner License Oath.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right. Can I have you please all stand? I don't see that in the script here, but
Yeah.
all right. Please raise your right hand. I will read the oath, and at its conclusion, I will ask for your response. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully and honestly, according to the best skill and judgment, and without concealment and reservation, perform all the duties required of me by the laws of the United States. I will faithfully and honestly carry out the lawful orders of superior officers aboard a vessel. If you agree, please state, I will. Congratulations and welcome to the fleet.
Thank you, Admiral Platt. Merchant Mariners, you may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the United States Navy's Director for Strategic Systems Programs, Vice Admiral John E. Wolfe, Jr., Kings Point Class of 1988, who... Admiral Wolfe will deliver remarks and administer the United States Uniformed Services Oath of Office. Admiral.
Secretary Duffy, Dr. Byrd, Admiral Noonan, distinguished guests, fellow service members, and the class of 2025, good morning. To begin, I'd like to recognize family members and friends of our graduates. Your unconditional support is the current that has pushed these fine men and women to where they are today, wearing the uniform of the greatest maritime forces in the world. Those who dedicate their lives to service and sacrifice are powered by the loving support systems at home, providing continuity, patience, and flexibility. On behalf of a grateful nation, thank you for everything you have done, but probably more importantly, thank you for what you will continue to do for these graduates. Class of 2025, when I walked across this stage in 1988, I looked at the world around me and I saw unprecedented times. It was my time. It was my opportunity to serve my country and become part of something greater than myself. No doubt about it, you were graduating into your own unprecedented times. The Middle East boils over in conflict, and bad actors attack the free flow of commerce and trade in that region. Russia continues its unjustified war in Ukraine, bringing destabilization and destruction to Europe. China looms over the Pacific, advancing their strategic and conventional capabilities with the purpose of challenging a world order built on democracy and freedom. You are dedicating your life to the maritime tradition. Provide America with the sea power and sea control needed to preserve our way of life and ensure our security and our prosperity. Our uniformed services and merchant mariners keep our shores, borders, and ports safe and secure, safeguarding our homeland. They keep shipping lanes open and commerce free-flowing across the globe. And they engage direct threats, like the ones being taken down by our United States Navy, as our sailors defeat hundreds of drones and missile attacks and execute dozens of offensive strikes in the Red Sea and the Eastern Mediterranean. President John F. Kennedy in 1963 said, I quote, "Control of the sea means security. Control of the seas can mean victory. The United States must control the seas if it is to protect your security, end quote. We're a global maritime nation, and with that comes a commitment to being wherever we need to be in the world to keep America and our allies safe. Whether you're putting on the uniform every day as a member of our active duty forces or strengthening our nation through your reserve duty, you are the reason our nation is postured and ready to ensure prosperity, ready to fight and win wherever the fight, wherever the battle. Acta non verba, deeds, not words. By now, each of you feels these words deep in your bones. Hold them close. Deeds, not words. Responsive action, accountability at every level, and relentless pursuit of greatness. These are the deeds, the ethos of leadership. Your actions distinguish you in the world. It is not words that keep our adversaries at bay. It is actions. It is the knowledge that we are a seafaring nation that can translate our words to actions at a moment's notice. From the depths of the Cold War to the advanced digital age, this country's leaders and its people continue to look to you as the standard of maritime excellence. Whether on active duty within our nation's uniformed services, as a merchant marine on our U.S. flag vessels, as a strategic sea lift officer in the reserves, you are the professionals that ensure safe navigation, secure shipping lanes, provide for safe ports and cargo management, ensure adherence to maritime law. All these things and so much more are the key to security, to prosperity, and to freedom of the United States of America and our allies. President Trump marked National Maritime Day saying, quote, "America's strength at sea has always been driven by the United States Merchant Marine," end quote. That is your legacy. You stand on the shoulders of giants, but today is your day. This is your time, and it is now with my honor to administer the oath of office to you and welcome you to the ranks of service. Class of 2025, please rise. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Admiral Wolf. We appreciate your being here today. Class of 2025, ensigns and second lieutenants, please take your seats.
Okay, guys, let's try this again. Will those students graduating summa cum laude, magna cum laude, and cum laude please rise? Okay, Trevor Fjord Quigley.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Dragon Joseph Colonies. Lillian Takagami Podzaevsky. John Vincent Salkeld. Robert Jason Novak. Alexander Howard Barita. Ingo Logan Leak. Kenneth T. Webb III. Alexandra Jean Inakino. Michael Calvary Frame. Cameron Jeffrey Lewis Taylor. Christopher Michael Sunoco. Michael Vincent Lyon. Christopher Michael Bertellus. Cara Rebecca LaRudis. Trent Mason Haltom. Christopher Gerard Wheaton. Connor James Gaffney. Hyen Jung Lee. Travis Dean Leatherwood with his guide dog, Gracie. Benson Vaughn Hensley. Liam James Prigmore. Eli Thomas Blaisdell. Connor Timothy Duffy. Marcus Cornelius Walpole. Tony Habib Samaha. Ethan Ryan Lister. Arthur Lee Dozier, the fifth. John Gage Anthony Romick. Lena Amelia Solorzano. Isaac Alexander Vinsol. Stephen Thomas Woodrow Pavlansky. Derek Robert Lionel Vinas. Aiden John Chesluck. Cade James Halloran. Tyler Paul Damaray. Ray Jacob Garcia Alino. Sawyer Dayton Melick. David James Smith. Joseph Porter Wiley. Giovanni Antonio Tellini. Sean Joseph Robinson. Haley Suzanne Agin. Brandon Thomas Allison. Zachary Christopher Alvarado. Luke Anthony Arena. Sungwoo Bae. Brandon Daniel Balsamo. Matthew Luis Cristobal Barcas. Anna Lynn Barnes. Zachary Alexander Barnes. Joshua L. Beavis. Mason Bowen Bell. Matthew Aaron Benjamin. Riley J. Benson. Camden Coulter Berry. William Howard Boise. Thomas Patrick Braunrother. Michael Andrew Brent. Connor O'Neill Brown. Jacob Christopher Bryan. Alexander William Butler. Connor Isaac Bai. Hunter Matthew Campisi. Creed Elmer Carter. Mackenzie Michelle Cassingham. Jonathan Chang. Christopher Joseph Sapola. Garrett Michael Clapsaddle. Aiden Daniel Coleman. John Patrick Collins VI. Jaden Oliver Cologne. Natalie Rose Colpoys. Rodney Wesley Cook III. Casey Anderson Cool. Daryl Cade Cowley. Garrett Andrew Cox. Brooke Victoria Crowley. Caden O'Bannon Dale. Emma Patterson Daniels. Mason Vaughn Dansby. Evan Christopher Davis. Christopher Gustav Dean. Joseph Daniel DiCarlo Jr. Mayava Rose Delaria. Austin Thomas Demo. Keith Eugene DeStabler. Eric Michael DeWald. Gregory Ramsey Dillon. Timothy James Dillon. Daniel Levi Disraeli. Jalen Patrice Douglas. James Ezekiel Dunnigan. Riley Blue Durant. Michael Joseph Emmerich with his service dog Tulip. Larson Jet Emig. Nicholas Santo Espada. Morgan Ann Falanga. Jacob William Ferguson. George Ethan Ferry. Charlie Everett Ford III. Zachary Joseph Foltz. Natalia Maricela Gallardo. Reed Daniel Garrison. Blake Gianamore. Ren Evan Gillingham Brown. Eric Stephen Galange. Vivian Rochelle Goswiller. Logan J. Green. Brendan Joseph Griffith. Jeffrey Irons Gumport. Garrett Owen Hall. Patrick John Hauser. Jason Edward Healy.